My name's Alana Cameron, and I own Lark Coffee Roasters, which is a local small batch roastery just up the street from KAS. I started at the end of 2016, inspired by taking a small business course at KAS the year before in 2015. I won Best Business Idea at our final event for that program and used that to buy a little roaster and sell coffee at the farmers market and to be able to test the business in a small way and just slowly work up to where I am now, where I have a roastery and a cafe open to the public 4 days a week and a whole bunch of wholesalers all over Canada. My own employment journey was quite varied. I had been a consultant for an independent school, so working online, and really enjoyed the flexibility of that because I'm a musician, so I was able to record albums and do some touring, but was starting to feel like I was at home too much and not out in the community. And I really love how in a small town, when you start a small business, you really add to your community in such an important way and help create the community you're in. And my parents had done that when I was little. They had a health food store and restaurant in Creston. And I saw what a community hub that was and how it enriched the community. So I thought, how cool if I could do that here and have a little business that added to the community and was also something that had me like interacting with people and not just at home on the computer, a little more engagement. So what brought me back to KES is that I was at a point in my business where I had grown it enough that I needed help keeping up with everything. I was noticing I was letting things drop. I would deliver coffee to a wholesaler and hadn't done the invoice before because I was behind myself all the time. So I came to KES and said, is there a program that I qualify for where I could get some help? Is there some way? And I'd had some people approach me and say, hey, we'd love to work for you. And I said, I'd love that, but I might need help paying your wage because it's tricky. Like was at a point where I needed help, but I couldn't necessarily afford to pay someone to help me. I'd had people very sparingly in the summer come and do like some Saturdays or little things, but I'd never had an actual employee. So I was like, I'd love help with that. And Madison said she was interested, and then she qualified for the advance, and I thought this is perfect, and then we can figure out how to make this work for both of us. And I'm glad we had as many months as we did, because it did take a while, because I have my own way of working and she has her own way. And so to find those ways that to help us both thrive and help support each other, and discovered that she's a morning person and I'm an afternoon person. So it was kind of interesting because she'll come in the morning and have a lot of energy and her brain works. And I'm still like figuring out my day. And by the afternoon, I am like ready to roast coffee and do a whole bunch of things. And she's starting to wind down. So it's just fun to see how different, just how different we all are and how we work differently. And so how to support each other to be at different energy levels and how that can work or have challenges, figure that out. For me, it's been amazing because the reason I was so attracted to taking the risk and being an employer was to have someone help me with the systems I knew I wasn't able to create. And Madison's strengths were in admin and service. And I knew she created a really nice environment because she'd been working in a retail shop in Creston. And I noticed I would go in there just to hang out with her. So I thought, oh, that's the perfect person to come in, is to have someone who can work with customers but also has an admin background and can help create even better systems in the back end so everything runs smoother. So she's made these beautiful coffee credit cards for people that add credit to their coffee for the week, and then they can come in and just grab drinks easily, and just different little things that make things simpler for all of us. So the reasons that I think having a longer subsidy time frame are so helpful is that, especially with a small business, some things don't come up until it's been a few months. Like in certain situations, or just aren't occurring day to day. Some of my wholesale customers only order every couple months, so there's There's just like sometimes it's like 1 week, every single big wholesaler will order that 1 week. And so we go from this like bagging like 5 bags or 10 bags for little online orders to having 300 bags to bag on top of customers coming in, and maybe we're out of green coffee and so I have to order that. And it's just like certain scenarios maybe only occur once a year. And so if I didn't have that time, then I wouldn't know how to help my employee handle that kind of a stressful day or that situation, or what support I need. Because honestly, I've been working harder now that I have an employee, because I had so many things I'd put on the back burner to then have someone there to be like, it helps me be more efficient to have someone else there. And so we're both working harder. So having support is just so wonderful, because being an entrepreneur is one of the most stressful things. Like mental health stats for entrepreneurs are not very good. There's a lot of, stress, anxiety, depression, because of so much pressure constantly, the decisions you have to make day to day. So any and all support has been very welcome, and I just so grateful I qualified to have the support to have an employee for these months. I would definitely recommend the program. It's the most supportive program that I've experienced as a small business, and I really appreciate being able to have support as someone running a very small one-person operation, and to have that grow from one person to having my first employee was really incredible.